Hi everyone, I wanted to share with you a beautiful insight by Rav Pinkus that really highlights the difference between greatness and godliness. What exactly is the difference between the two, and how does this resonate in our everyday lives? If we look back into the Torah, there's one character that really fills a description of greatness. His name was Og. He was a giant of his time. He had strengths that no person in his time had. We were told that he could move mountains with his bare hands. In that time, people started to wonder if he was even human. They started to question if he may be God himself. But we, fast-forwarding the story, know that he's not God. So what attribute was he missing to be God himself? He seemed to fit all the criteria of being great. Why couldn't he fit the criteria of being godly? And there's one key difference. Ask this very same giant to enter into an anthole, and he can't do it. Yes, he had the greatness because he had the physical strengths, and he was able to fulfill the big tasks. But greatness has its limits. It can only remain great. Godliness has no limits. It's not just physical strength and big tasks, but it's also in the lowest and smallest of tasks. His greatness remains the same. And that's what godliness is. The teachings of Kabbalah and Chassidism explain to us the definition of perfection. And they say, the higher something is, the lower it can descend. So the intensity of a lamp is measured by the farthest point it could reach. So the true mark of someone who's genius is the ability to explain the most profound idea to the simplest mind. That's what perfection is. It's not the intelligence itself. It's not the strength itself. It's not the light itself. But it's its ability to reach further and to reach to the complete opposite. So the perfection is not the talent itself, but it's the ability to take that talent and bring it down to the smallest of places, to the furthest thing from that talent itself. And that's what godliness is, and that's our God. Hashem is far beyond greatness. Wherever you are in the world, no matter how far you have fell, Hashem is there. And it's clearly written in the Tehillim. There's a chapter that starts off by describing all of Hashem's greatness. It goes through his strengths, and it describes his strength of being the master of the world. So we see Hashem's greatness, but then the chapter moves on and shows us his godliness. And it says this one sentence that we really have to internalize. The pasuk says, Mi kimi me'afar dal me'ashpot yarim evyan. He raises the needy from the dust. This very same greatness, this master of the world, his talent, what is it? Is that he can take that godliness and he can go to the dust of the world, to the lowest of places, and his greatness doesn't change. And he chooses to go to the lowest of places to pick up the needy. Hashem is telling us, you know what makes me better than greatness? I'll go to the lowest of places and still yearn to be close to you even there. That's something that greatness doesn't have. That's godliness. And that's what we need to trust in. Not God's greatness, but God's godliness.